So what you see in front of you right now is a BRZ oil filter, or for an FRS, for a GR86, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the same part number for both the first gen twins and the second gen. So this is a Subaru version, but that's the part number. Subaru oil filters, they'll end in 130. I think 100 is for like the older WRXs. Typically they have different revisions of them. So that's what happens over time. I don't think this one's been changed though. This one's been the one since I think 2013. But what I did today was I was doing an oil change, so I went ahead and used my fancy oil filter dissection tool here. You can get these on Amazon for like 15-20 bucks. And it allows you to open up the oil filter to actually see what is inside of it, right? And what we want to look at here is not all oil filters are created equal. Now, this one is a stock oil filter. This is the Tokyo Roki one. You hear me talk about these a lot. I'm trying to find it on here. Well, whatever. These ones are either made in Japan or Indonesia, depending on which one you get. Sometimes they move the manufacturing around. You're still getting a high quality product here, and that's what we're going to go through today. We're going to take a quick look at this. So I cut this open, right? That's what the tool does. I try to get not a lot of shavings in here because the entire idea of cutting this open is to see in here how much gunk and whatever you can find in here, right? It's in your oil filter, so you just don't want to have big chunks or anything in there. But right now we're going to just take a look at the construction of the filter, right? So you've got a nice good gasket on the outside here, which is really good. These actually come pre-lubed. I always lube them with some additional oil, but you'll see there's like a white kind of grease on this. So technically speaking, you don't have to, but I always do, just a little extra insurance. I've never had any stick on me or anything. And then this was actually sitting directly in there, and you've got your anti-drain back valve, which is just this little rubber piece. Nothing special about this, does the job, totally fine. And then you got the meat and potatoes in here. This is your filtering media. I am not going to cut this one completely open, most likely. Everything looks okay with it. But what I do want to point out here is you've got nice solid metal construction on the outside. You've got metal construction on the inside in here. You can probably barely see that, but in there, all metal construction. You've got a nice, I want to call it like a weld here, but a nice metal piece that's holding together all of the pleats. And you can see they're not going to be perfect, right? Some are going to be a little bit smudged together here. But in general, you're seeing pretty uniform pleats from the filter media. I'll take this apart because actually I believe the way this actually works is the oil goes in there, it pushes through here, and then the good oil comes out here. The filtered oil comes out there. So you have to open it up to see if there's any gunk in there, right? See if there's any metal shavings, anything you want to check for in there. I always check it just to make sure, but I've never really found anything alarming or anything. It's actually what you really need to do is if you're going to take this filter media out, you can see it's all, it's got a bunch of oil in it, right? So what you're going to have to do is take this and put this in a vice grip and push all the oil out of it so that you can get a better view for any metal contaminants and shavings in there, right? But overall, this is a high quality filter. This is from Subaru. This one looks great, like all the other Tokyo Roki ones. If you've got a higher horsepower build, if you're running a stock one, whatever, these are cheap enough that you should just run these. I think these are like $7 or $8 at the dealer. Now again, we've got some tariffs and stuff going on right now, and these are going to be imported, so I would stock up a little bit on these. I'm not going to go into any politics on that, but they may go up in price a little bit. I would still run these though, because a lot of your other oil filters are coming from, Fram, I believe, is made by Honeywell up in Canada, and those ones are complete junk. I might take one of those apart at some point. They are complete junk though. They are typically like those old Subaru blue filters. They don't have any metal. It's all cardboard. Okay, this whole piece is cardboard. Inside's cardboard. The outside's cardboard. Whole darn thing is cardboard. And the problem that you get with that is if you're running higher oil pressures, or if it gets a little clogged up or something. Now again, I've never heard of any actual failures on them. They're not really a failure point per se, but you could have a failure. If this isn't metal, right? I like to see them metal. to be totally honest, right? And I've seen a lot of construction with those Fram and Honeywell ones. This looks all like jacked up. Like you'll see like really wide gaps in here, and they just don't look like quality. There's glue everywhere. I don't see any glue on this, right? There's glue on the inside somewhere there, but I don't see any glue on this. And actually in here, we got one more piece here. This is a kind of like the override. There's a spring pressure on this in PSI. I believe it is somewhere around, for a lot of Subaru oil filters, it's like in the 24 PSI range. I don't know what this one specifically is. But basically, if this gets too clogged up, it's going to open it up so that your oil flows through and so that you don't lose, you don't have oil starvation or anything like that. I'm forgetting the technical name for it. There actually is a name for this piece. If I remember it, I will put it up on the screen. My mind is blanking right now. A lot of times you'll see this be a spring. It can be kind of like a leaf spring like this. But yeah, this one works great. Simple, easy construction. It won't fail on you, so that's great. That's awesome. And I'm just taking a look in here. I don't see any crap in here. I don't see anything alarming. So everything is doing its job. This is a great filter. Again, there is the part number. Go ahead and use these. They're great. I talk a lot about the Tokyo Roki ones. They're excellent. And go ahead and use these at your next oil change. They're awesome. So anyhow, hope that's helpful. Looking inside an oil filter here, see all the components, see the good construction this one is. And have a nice day. Hope it helps, guys.